We haven't kept ignored and distracted from a topic by naming it as a conspiracy theory. In fact, it's not a conspiracy anymore. I'm talking about harvesting young blood to stay young. This topic is famous for a word named as adrenochrome. Well, there are some rumors on famous celebrities and public figures being drinking or injecting adrenochrome in them. So what really adrenochrome is? Adrenochrome is a chemical compound produced by the oxidation of adrenaline. And this adrenaline is a hormone produced from the adrenal gland of humans and animals. Also, it can be produced synthetically in lab. So here you need adrenaline to make adrenochrome in the process of oxidation. And this process got figured out by David Ezra Green and Derek Reacher in 1936. But there is no evidence on any public or private domain that adrenochrome can rejuvenate the old. So is this adrenochrome story a scam in the name of something similar? It could be, but I'm not sure because the story doesn't end here. In 2016, a US startup company called Ambrosia that was offering teenage blood plasma to Silicon Valley billionaires for $8,000 per liter by assuring that young teenage blood could rejuvenate their old patients through a procedure named as parabiosis, in which the young blood is transfused into the old. So from where did they brought the young teenage blood? And did the procedure actually work? If so, then where is that company right now in 2022? Jesse Karmazin, founder of the Ambrosia company, had claimed that they bought those young blood from blood banks, as they had more than 100 paying customers. And when it comes to the procedure called parabiosis, several scientists from universities like Stanford, Harvard, UCSF, Cornell, and other government-funded institutions have conducted a common experiment in which they have transfused the blood plasma from young to old mice. As per the results, there was rejuvenation of neurons and improvement of the cognitive function in the older mice, according to the report provided by scientists, those who had conducted the experiment. But those scientists were not confirmed about the specific component in the blood plasma which was causing the rejuvenation in older mice. And the same goes with Jesse Karmazin. He was also not confirmed about it, but what he did claim is pretty much similar to the results found in mice.
So Jesse, what parameters do you focus in? How do you judge feeling more youthful? What do you look at specifically?
Sure. A lot of these assessments are subjective, and we know this, that it's difficult to measure sleep quality or even energy levels, right? These aren't objective findings. That's why in some of our patients, we worked with outside physicians who did testing like neurological assessments on patients with Alzheimer's. Patients with heart disease reported increased activity levels. But really the bulk of the evidence we have today is the 100 biomarkers we measured in collaboration with Myriad RBM in areas like cardiovascular health, neurological health, inflammation, even cancer biomarkers improved. So this is a preliminary study, but we think the early results are good, and that's why we're offering the treatment.
While Jesse Karmazin was treating his customers with young blood, FDA issued a warning in February of 2019 against some clinics those were offering blood plasma from young donors, by stating that they had no proven clinical benefits to the treatment of aging, which leads to the shutdown of Ambrosia in the August of that year. But that was not the end of the story. Karmazin had moved on to another business named as IBY Plasma, which was just a replica of Ambrosia. And the website for new company IBY Plasma suggested that it would be offering the same service as Ambrosia, but the plasma wouldn't be sourced specifically from younger people. And now, to normalize the concept of young blood, Stanford University popped out with a new experiment in the 25th May of 2022 by infusing the cerebrospinal fluid from a young mice to the old. Stanford scientists found out that infusion of cerebrospinal fluid can regenerate the brain's memory center and may help to rejuvenate the elderly bodies. So now they started to promote young cerebrospinal fluid, which is a clear liquid found within the tissue that surrounds the brain and spinal cord of humans, and is packed full of nutrients, signaling molecules and growth factors which nourish the neurons. The Stanford team infused fluid from 10-week-old mice into the brain of 18-month-old mice over 7 days, and found that older mice were better at remembering to associate a small electric shock with a noise and flashing light. Closer examination showed the fluid had woken up processes which regenerate neurons and myelin. Myelin is the fatty material that protects the nerve cell within the hippocampus, which is the memory center of the brain. So here the scientists think they know which part of the fluid is primarily driving the effect of rejuvenation, which is a protein called serum response factor, which decreases in the older mice. And when they used a growth factor called FGF17 to boost level of serum response factor, the older mice showed the same improvements seen with the youthful infusions, suggesting that FGF17 could be used as a treatment to rejuvenate aging brains. This is straightforward from the Stanford University's official website, which you can find from the link in the description, which will direct you to a post in my Telegram group on this topic, and you'll be able to find out all the sources, links, and evidence to all the information I have provided here. And these are some pictures from an article of Stanford magazine, which is trying to convince readers to incline more towards this evil ritualistic program of young blood youthfulness. So with all of it, this is the end of the video. If you like the information, then please subscribe and share this video to spread awareness among people and let them know what is happening in this stage world. And thank you for listening till the end.